Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to Stephley Films. Today you can see that our setup is a little bit different from usual in the studio because here we are now at a wedding live stream event. So now maybe let me take you through briefly how our Atem Mini Pro is set up for this live stream event. Right now you can see this is the laptop and this is the Atem Mini Pro, which is connected. So cam 1 is actually connected to this source here, which is this camera, and this is facing the wide shot. It's a wide shot of the whole sonorization so that we can pan. We can do a panning when we have to. Then you can see source 2 here. Source 2 is actually connected wirelessly to the camera, which is the one that you are seeing right now. So cam 2 is this camera. So I will be holding the camera later and we will be moving around during solemnization to get close-up shots of the couple. So this is source 3. Source 3 is this one right now and it's connected to the iPad. So for source 3, usually we connect it to an external source, either a second laptop or your iPad Pro, so that you can play media on it. And for the HDMI output, is being connected to this monitor here. Remember I told you previously that we have an external aux jack here to monitor the sound. So it will be good if you can find one monitor that has a 3.5mm jack here. With this, then you will be able to monitor the audio. And lastly, our mic 1 here, mic 1 is being connected wirelessly via Rode to the cameras, to the audio source from the hotel, which is over the other side. So basically this is just a simple setup. I will go back into the studio to tell you more in detail on how we run each individual equipment. So thank you and see you soon in the studio. Bye! Hey everyone, welcome back to the studio. So as you all have seen, I did a quick video on site at one of my wedding live streams recently, and I've also shown you a basic setup for a wedding live stream or any event which runs in a similar way. As long as you get your concepts right, you just need to do simple modifications to cater to your specific needs for your specific event. As a follow-up to that on-site video, I will just run through again what equipment I used that day during the wedding live stream. To keep this video simple to understand, I will just go through the ports one by one on the Atem Mini Pro and explain what equipment is being used on those ports. Source 1, camera 1. This is usually my main camera, or what I call the safe cam, especially for weddings, because I put a wide angle lens on it to cover at least 50% of the view of the event. On my GH5, I mount a 12-35mm lens on it, and the effective focal length for full frame camera would be 24-70mm. Since the micro four thirds cameras have a 2x crop factor. Why do I call this a safe cam is because at any point of time, I can cut back to the view of this camera and it shows a general view of the event, which is pretty acceptable for live streaming, especially for weddings. Source 2, camera 2. This is where my camera gets mobile, meaning it is wirelessly connected to my Atem Mini Pro and I can move around the event hall without being limited to the length of the HDMI cables. For this wireless setup, I used the Nyrius Aries Pro on my DIY rig that I set up for my GH5. It costs about $250 on Amazon and I find the price pretty reasonable and the wireless connection is pretty reliable too. Of course, there are more expensive options, but making Cam 2 wireless, you get the point. Source 3. This is where I connect an external computer to this port. Actually, most of the time I connect to source 4. It's just a personal preference or habit. But basically, this source provides your live stream with playable media content. For example, slideshows, PowerPoint presentations, or in this particular example, I play the couple's pre-wedding video and pre-wedding photo slideshows on this source. You can either use another laptop or you can use an iPad for this. If you plan to use the iPad, remember to get the Lightning to HDMI adapter for this. The last port, I usually leave it empty, and for yourself, you can use it for any other purpose specifically catered to your event. For example, another laptop or a third camera. Next up is the HDMI output port. Remember how we all hated Blackmagic design for not including such a simple audio out on the console? Well, I found a workaround for this and it has completely served its purpose and made me stop blaming Blackmagic design all these months for missing this out. So I got myself an external monitor that also has an audio out 3.5mm jack. Once you plug in a pair of headphones, you can monitor the audio that is playing on your live stream. Simple. Now let's talk about audio. I cannot stress how important audio is for any video content that you create. As a professional filmmaker, I would rather have good audio and poor video than poor audio and good video. Audio makes or breaks your video. You can hear the super huge difference between ambient audio from the cameras using the AFV mode on the Atem Mini Pro.
Very good evening to all friends and guests of Mr.
versus tapping into the event's audio mixer.
And just really want to thank you all for everything that you've been doing in our lives.
For myself, I use the Rode Link wireless filmmaker kit to connect mic 1 to the hotel's audio system or to the DJ console or mixer, depending on what setup they have there. This costs about $400 US, but a cheaper alternative is the Rode Wireless Go system, which costs about half the price for $199 US. Rode makes very good audio equipment, so you won't go wrong with any of their product range. A very important tip I would like to share here with you is to prepare 3 types of cables to handle most situations on site. Firstly, an XLR male to 3.5mm cable, an RCA, which is the red-white cable, to 3.5mm cable, and of course a normal 3.5mm audio cable with a 1/4" adapter. This also depends on what wireless system you use, because for myself, the Rode system has a 3.5mm audio jack. If your wireless system runs in XLR, then you have to get the corresponding adapters to XLR. Lastly, mic 2. I connect mic 2 to a portable music player. In my case, I use an old Oppo handphone, which still takes in the old school 3.5mm jack. Most of the handphones nowadays have no more 3.5mm jack, so this is purely up to you how you want to do it. This music player sets up the background music for the entire event, and this is especially so for the start and end of the event. So let's say your event starts at 6 PM and you want to start your live stream at 5:30 PM so that people can start coming into the live stream and waiting at the lobby. You can play some background music with a static screen to indicate that the event is starting at 6 PM. So that when the guests come online, they know that it is already live when they hear the music being played in the background. So there you have it. My setup for a wedding live stream or any live stream event that you can modify to suit your client's requirements. I hope that this video has given you a pretty comprehensive idea of my production setup of the Atem Mini Pro for my wedding live streams and how this setup can increase your production quality and hopefully command a higher fee for your live stream services. I've had so many clients who came to me saying, "Oh, what's the difference between your setup and my cousin using a handphone to stream via Instagram Live or Facebook Live?" But when they saw my setup on the wedding day and the eventual quality of the live stream, they know that there is a huge difference in quality and the price they pay is greatly justified, especially if they are particular about their live stream quality. I will provide a link to this particular wedding live stream that I was on, and you can take a look at the final video. Again, a quick disclaimer, it is not perfect, as no live stream is perfect. You can always find things to improve. I've always repeated this in almost all my videos. Anything can go wrong in a live stream event. Poor internet connection, people walking into your camera view, people knocking onto your equipment, wireless connection failure, audio peaking, just too many to name. But I also always say, when you prepare 200% for the event, your final product will be close to 100%. Most importantly, know your concepts right and you will be able to handle any tricky situation that pops up. Before I end this video, I would like to say it really means a lot to me if you found any of the information I shared today useful and if you can give this video a like. So it encourages me to continue making such videos for you. Better still, share it with your friends. On the other hand, if there's anything that you dislike, you can give me a thumbs down, but do let me know in the comments below what you dislike so I can work on my future video content to bring you something that you like. If you want to learn more about photography and videography on this channel, or get tips to improve your Atem Mini Pro wedding setup or corporate setup like this episode, or if you want to see the in-depth review of the Atem Mini Pro ISO coming up in the next episode, don't forget to subscribe and click on the notification bell. And as always, if you have any questions, please let me know.